and welcome to Jan's Views on Crime, a place where we look at crime and I give my views on it. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. Hello and welcome to Jan's Views on Crime. Today we're going back to Nicola Bulley because there's a few things. There's just a few things I want to address about this case that I haven't already addressed. And one of the things is, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you recognise this name? Louise Cunningham. Those of you that do, write it down in the comment section. Oh, there's no point in that because I'll have already told you. But anyway, I hope you do recognise her or recognise the name, because it is none other than this person who is Nicola Bulley's sister. Guys, I found out a few things about this woman. Yeah, quite interesting. But I'm going to be really careful and say that I don't know for a fact. I never knew the women, but it's what I've learnt, and I've done quite extensive research over the weekend. So, shall we have a look at this Louise Cunningham? Here we go. Now, Louise was Nicola's younger sister. You wouldn't know it. Look at that picture. Stop it, Jan. But yeah, I mean, that's her there with the fringe there, bangs in American. But yeah, she's her sister. Now, a little bird on YouTube told me that this one, Louise, was actually living with Nicola and hubby and the two kids. Now, I can't say it's an absolute fact. I'm also not going to say which channel I saw it on, because they've got a habit of striking channels that play any of their videos. So I've decided I'm not going to play any of his video. Simple as that. But I'm telling you, and this guy, I think he knows what he's talking about. He said she was living in the house. So it was a bit of a weird, it's a bit of a, strange relationship. Can you imagine? You're living with this guy and your two kids, and your sister moves in. Yeah, it just seems a little bit odd to me. But anyway, I'll leave you to, run that over in your minds. I'm not going to speculate. Another thing I learnt is that, Nicola Bulley was married before. She's only been married once, because this new dude that she's been with for 12 years, she never actually married him. She married some guy called, I knew I'd do this. I knew I'd forget it. Hang on, I'll check. That's it. Don't ever say I'm not prepared to do these videos, because you'll be absolutely right. Anyway, so she was briefly married to a local businessman named Simon Booth, who is now engaged to actress Jodie Prenger, who plays Glenda Shuttleworth in Coronation Street, before meeting her partner, Paul Ansell, in a pub 12 years ago. Well, there you go. I hope you didn't know that, because I want to feel as if I've broken this story on YouTube, which I probably haven't. But anyway, isn't that fascinating? So her husband, I think they were only married for a couple of years. Yeah, I think they were married for a couple of years, and it broke up. I don't know when. I don't know. But she was born in Essex, which is not far from me. And, in fact, she was born in Chelmsford, which is where one of my daughters lives over that way, and she goes shopping in Chelmsford. I didn't really have to share that with you, but there you go. Yeah, so Nicola was born there, and I'm guessing, did she no, no. I was gonna say, did she marry when she was in Chelmsford? No. She moved up north to be possibly with Simon Booth, because he was a Lancashire lad, and but the marriage didn't work. I think they were living in Blackpool at the time. The marriage didn't work, and then she met up with what's his name, Paul, in a pub, and they've been together 12 years, and he's the father of the two little girls. There you go. That's how I don't do any homework, all right? Now, whilst I was poking around for while I was doing my research on the sister, do you know, there's not very much out there about the sister, which again, I think, oh, okay, could have given us a little bit more. But anyway, I think that the red flags that were flying high as soon as I found out that the sister was living in the same house with Nicola and her husband. I just thought, well, fella, let's call him a fella because she wasn't married to him. Anyway, so the sister of missing mother, Nicola Bulley, has questioned a police theory that her sister fell in a river. So it seems at the beginning that old Louise wasn't in agreement that Nicola fell in the river. Okay, you can change your mind, I guess. Right. So, in a Facebook status posted on Friday evening, Ms. Bulley's sister, Louise Cunningham, urged people to keep an open mind as there is no evidence whatsoever that the dog walker fell in the water. Okay. All right. Off the back, and she goes on to say, off the back of the latest police media update, please can I add, there is no evidence whatsoever that she has gone into the river. It's just a theory, she said. Okay. And then she goes on to say, everyone needs to keep an open mind as not all CCTV and leads have been investigated fully. The police confirmed the case is far from over. Now, I have to say, this was like last year. Okay. Although I've screenshot it today, it was actually last year when it first happened, and they obviously hadn't found Nicola at that point. But ah, I want to find out. I want to find out a bit more about this sister. I just do. So let's move on to this one. Discussing January the 10th, when an ambulance was called, Louise said it was a bit of a wake up call for her, I think. She was fuming with me for calling the ambulance. She thought I had overreacted, and maybe I did, but she is my sister and I was concerned. She started to get back to normal after that. Guys, another green flag for me was that Louise seemed quite happy to be telling the police and all and sundry all her sister's business, about, oh, well, she's going through a menopause and, she's been a little bit depressed and she had a funny, as she called it a blip. She had a blip in January, and that's when I had to call the ambulance and have her taken away. I mean, what? What? What are you do? What? Why would she have to tell everybody that? That's why. It's like painting. It's like painting a narrative. She was painting a narrative that her sister was a bit loopy lollops and had gone off, and that's how she ended up in the river. And yet, her first things that she was saying was that no, she didn't go in the river. She wasn't in the river. I mean, yeah, I think we need to have a deeper dive into this sister. I just do. I mean, yeah, it just seems a bit odd to me that everything that she says seems to be quite negative about her sister, and I don't like that. Where's your sisterly bond? Something else that sort of intrigued me, and maybe Louise thought that because she'd heard of this rumor, which was that there was a van sighting, some shabby red van was spotted in the village. maybe that's why she was saying, well, perhaps she didn't go in the river. I don't know, guys. What do you think? I don't know. So anyway, let's go on to this one. A man in his 50s described the van to the Sun. Oh, a glorious, glorious piece of crap the Sun newspaper is. Um, a man in his 50s described the van to the Sun as a high-sided Renault or Transit in a faded red. So it's probably overpainted, or it might have been an old postman Pat van. I don't know. Anyway, the witness said it was a shabby looking van, an older model, the kind you can live or work in. Who lives in a red van? Anyway, never mind. It was on a quiet lane near a barn with a couple of houses dotted around. Obviously, I don't know whether this van is related to Nicola's disappearance. All I know is that something grabbed my attention. I felt compelled to tell police about it. Another man is also said to have spotted the vehicle and alerted police. It comes as friends of Mrs. Bulley will gather for another roadside appeal 2 weeks on from her disappearance. Members of the local community will stand by the road in a Lancashire village of St Michael's on Wire with banners and placards featuring her photograph in a plea to bring Nikki home. Oh, such a shame. Anyway, friend Emma White told BBC Radio 4's Today programme on Friday the local community are coming out again today to just raise that profile, trying to jog anyone's memory. Dashcam footage of Garstang Road, which is just outside of the village of St Michael's on Wire, just by the bridge that you go over. Yeah. Yeah, so maybe Louise was sort of saying she was more concerned at the beginning of the investigation that perhaps, her sister was actually kidnapped or something. I don't know. So here we have another statement from Miss Cunningham. Asked if she spoke about menopausal symptoms with her, Miss Cunningham said she discussed having some symptoms with the HRT. It was back in the summer of 2022. Well, that was like a year before. Anyway, she was having headaches. She couldn't get the balance exactly right. She mentioned having struggles sleeping. She was taking lavender spray, herbal tea, anything that would relax her before bed. Okay, see now this is what I don't like. I do not like that this woman is planting seeds of her sister's mental instability at the time. I don't like that because I personally don't feel that it had anything to do with it. Do you feel it had anything to do with it? Because in that case, then we're looking at suicide, aren't we? So, and I really don't think, yeah, no. Nicola Bulley's sister was planning a spa day shortly before her death. Louise Cunningham cried at the inquest as she said, I literally confirmed it was booked, but she didn't pick up the message. So apparently she sent her the text saying, yay, we're going off to the spa day when poor Nicola was walking the dog. I mean, do we believe that? Is that a coincidence? I don't know. Asked about Nicola's mental health. She said Nicola did have a bit of a blip over the Christmas period with her HRT. However, come January, she had started to get back to her normal self. She was back on the HRT and back to work and back to normal Nikki. Her drinking did increase. See, that's what I mean about everything that this sister is saying is negative. It's got red flags for me. It's got red flags all over it. However, she said her never what? she said her sister never ever confided in her about suicidal thoughts or anything related. Asked by the coroner whether she leave the dog by the field if she ever did consider ending her life, Louise replied, "Absolutely not. There is no way Nikki would leave Willow unattended." Well, so the coroner asked the sister that. Right, okay. And then she goes on about the, which I've already read to you, discussing January the 10th when the ambulance was called. Ah, so she was fuming with me for calling the ambulance. She thought I had overreacted, and maybe I did. But she is my sister, and I was concerned. She started to get back to normal after that. I should think she probably did. She's probably frightened to say she's got a headache. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about you guys. I don't know about you, but I definitely sense a bit of negativity here. And maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just doing too much crime. Maybe I should go back to reviewing things. Um, yeah, so I don't know. What do you think, guys? Am I sort of making a mole out of what? Making a mole out of a mountain out of a molehill? I don't know. So let me just see if there's anything else I found out about the sister. I tell you what, it was like looking for a needle in a haystack. There was nothing. I put in all different things like Louise this, Louise. Oh, it's almost impossible. But I think the most significant thing for me that made me think of doing this video was when I heard this guy say that the sister actually lived with them. I thought, oh, did she now? I'm interested to know whether in the BBC documentary the shabby and suspicious red van was mentioned. Was it? I've also heard a story about a man in black. Was that mentioned in the documentary? Don't make me go and watch it. I, d- I don't want to watch it. I like documentaries, but I don't like reenactments. Richard Fife saw the man, who he described as being dressed all in black and possibly wearing a beanie hat, standing near the field twice, and thought it was strange. After hearing Nicola had gone missing, Mr. Fife reported his sighting of the man in black to police. See, I'm not making it up, guys. Louise adds, after composing herself. Oh no, she didn't add that. This is the person that's written it in the newspaper. Honestly, guys, I really am this rubbish at that. I do apologise. After composing herself, she said Nicola was very much a planner and that she was just amazing. Every Christmas, Mum and Dad would buy her a Springer Spaniel calendar, and every January, Nikki would transfer everything onto the new one with a colour coded system. Okay. She continued, before having the girls, she was a mortgage advisor. After the kids, she resat her exams. She was just getting back into a routine of work again, and she was absolutely brilliant. Yay! At last, she said something positive. According to Louise, Nicola had a special bond with Willow. Willow is the dog. She said he was like her third child. He would always find, or she would always find time in her day to take Willow for a walk. Well, there you go. That's all I've got on the sister, really. I haven't really got anything else on her. But I don't know. I don't know, guys. I just, yeah, they're the parents. God bless them. I mean, you can see that the agony that they're going through. So, okay, I'll throw together another video very soon. There's so many bits about the case, and it's difficult trying to find bits that you may not have already read or heard of. But anyway, and that's him. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so it's a very sad case. I hope that the truth will come out, the same as with the Jay Slater case. We can live in hope. I think this is, in a way, this is more shady because I think it's all a bit closer to home. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, so that's that. Anyway, how are you? I hope you're all well, and I hope you're looking forward to a fantastic week. I'm planning on hibernating. That's it. That's what I do in the cold weather. So, guys, you look after yourselves out there because trust me, it's a rotten old world. So until the next one, bye bye for now.